So let me get this straight. Analysts are now saying the Nintendo Switch 2 is going to sell 100 million units by 2029. 100 million. Are we serious right now? Look, we've already knew hype for this thing was through the roof. The rumors, the leaks, the speculation, you'll name it. It's been nonstop 4 months. But now we got forecast numbers from DFC Intelligence, and they're absolutely insane. According to their latest report, Nintendo could not only move over 15 million Switch 2 units by March 2026, but now they're projecting total lifetime sales to hit 100 million within 5 years. That's 5. Cinco. That's not just a big number, folks. That's rare air. That's rare reality. This will actually put the Nintendo Switch 2 up there with some of the most classic consoles of all time. I mean, we're talking big numbers here. If you're looking at the list, guys, this is from BG Charts, okay? This is the greatest selling console numbers of all time worldwide. If the Switch 2 hits 100 million years within 5 years, that puts it up right there next to the PlayStation 2, which is still number one. That puts it up there next to the PlayStation 2, which is number one. That puts it next to the Nintendo DS, which is number two. And it even puts it next to the current Switch, which are the only numbers that have ever crossed 100 million units ever. Right? And let's be honest, that's assuming that all this goes to plan with the Switch 2. Now, let's talk about where this prediction fits historically. Right now, if you go by the numbers from sites like VG Charts, there are only 7 systems that have sold officially over 100 million units. The PS2 is still sitting at the top, supposedly with 160 million again, according to this, with the global charts. And then, of course, like I said, you got the DS, the Switch, the Game Boy sitting nice and pretty, PS4, the PS1, and the Wii. So these are the 100 million sold consoles, right? Here's where things get even crazier. The same DFC report is claiming that Nintendo could become the primary third-party partner. So here's a article that I am picking up from Eurogamer. A few other outlets covered it, but apparently the Nintendo Switch 2 will become the primary partner for third-party publishers over the next 5 years. Not Sony, not Microsoft, Nintendo, which would be a massive shift in the gaming industry. And if true, that would mean the Switch 2 becomes the go-to console, not just for Nintendo's own games, but for third-party developers too, which has historically not been their strength. If you look at the Wii U, even the Switch OG, a lot of times third parties kind of shy away from actually developing on it. A lot of it's due to proprietary software limitations like the GameCube's little disc or whatever else is coming out there. And it's a lot of hard, time to develop games and make them into a stable state when the software is usually not as powerful. But this report is suggesting Nintendo's own forecast of 15 million units sold by March 2026 is probably a conservative report, right? They're taking it easy on the numbers, folks. And in reality, honestly, they think Nintendo will actually beat that, which is possible. Possibly hitting 16 million at that, maybe even 20 million, depending on how supply chains hold up, which has been the whole thing since at least 2020, right? Supply chains, meeting demand, now with the tariff situation going on. Considering that the original Switch launched in 2017, Nintendo projected 10 million units, I believe, when it launched, and it ended up selling 15 million units. So there's already a precedent there for them to do above and beyond. And also, I think it looks better on paper if you put a conservative number and you smash it, like how Nintendo did with the Switch OG in 2017, projected 10 million, they hit 15 million. That looks good on paper. That looks like hey, we exceeded our expectations. Now, another factor in here is GTA 6, right? Factor in that GTA 6 just got delayed until 2026, which means there's a huge gap this year in blockbuster releases. And according to this DFC report, they think that the Switch 2 might end up being the biggest thing to hit gaming in 2025, which right now, the way things are looking, wouldn't be a surprise. Microsoft is screwing up. PlayStation screwing up. There's no big, huge releases. GTA 6 is going to be delayed. The Switch 2 is coming out. We got a new Mario Kart, a new Donkey Kong, a new Metroid. Of course, it's going to sell like hotcakes. It's coming out at the perfect time. Let's be completely honest here. And especially in Japan, where Nintendo's pricing strategy is usually super competitive. So in terms of timing, again, like I said, Nintendo picked the perfect time to strike like a Nintendo Mario Cobra. So keep in mind, Sony and Microsoft are still technically years away from their next big console launches. I don't see them releasing anything anytime soon. Both companies have teased the idea of handhelds. We've been hearing a lot of that and next-gen hardware, but we're not expecting anything concrete until at least 2027. So Nintendo will have at least a year, year and a half, maybe even 2 years before anything else comes out. They get a 2-year head start. If the Switch 2 can gain traction fast, which it likely will, and keep that momentum, they could dominate the next console cycle before it even officially begins. They're getting a pretty good head start. Now, let's not get carried away just yet. There's still a lot of unknowns here. Can they hit numbers? I mean, 100 million is no joke. Again, like I said, the original Switch had lightning in a bottle. It was a perfect storm. The pandemic gave it a boost. The hybrid gimmick worked, and it had a pretty killer lineup, at least for the first few years or so. Can the Switch 2 recreate that magic? Nintendo sometimes has trouble following up, but they kept the Switch 2 similar to the Switch OG that maybe it just might work. I mean, think about how much the Wii U flopped after the success of the Wii. Here's what we do know. Nintendo, again, like I mentioned, has heavy hitters in the chamber. We got Mario Kart World, which is launching with the system, and that alone is going to move units. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe on the Switch was a success. It had a great 1-to-1 ratio between console owner and console player. Most people owned it. It's going to look like it's the same here. On top of that, we got potential for a brand new Mario, a brand new Zelda, a brand new Splatoon, Smash. I mean, all the heavy hitters are coming back out. At launch, we're getting a Donkey Kong game. July, we're getting a Donkey Kong 3D game. Metroid Prime set to come. I mean, there's a gold mine of IP here if they play it right. And it's not just about games. If you think about it, Nintendo's firing on all cylinders right now. They got the theme parks in Japan, California, Florida. There's a new store that just opened up in San Francisco. Hopefully it doesn't get looted soon. And the brand is bigger than it's ever been. Like, we're talking, it's growing exponentially. And if there was ever a time to go all in on a new console, it's right now. I think Nintendo has a setup to really push this thing. They got the resources at this point, but I'm going to still keep the expectations in check. Forecasts are fun. Reports are nice to look at, but the market's always unpredictable. We don't even know the full specs. We've seen the leaked stuff allegedly. We know the price, but we don't know if third-party support's actually going to show up long-term. Right now, we're getting some ports of like Cyberpunk and older games that have been around a while. But once we see the Maddens, the Call of Duties and stuff coming out, we'll know just how the third party is. But man, if Nintendo pulls this off, they might not just win the next console generation. They might blow the competition out of the water before it even starts. So what do you think about this, guys? Is 100 million Switch 2 units in 5 years realistic, or is this analyst hype kind of just getting ahead of itself? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Love to hear what you guys think. And don't forget to like and subscribe for more content like this. We're on the road to 100,000 subscribers. Can't do it without you. Thanks a lot. I'll see you on the next one. Peace out.